Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this series we're going to be going through all the astrological signs, okay? So like your sun sign, your moon sign, your Uranus sign, your Chiron, all those different astrological signs you would see when you do your chart in astrology. We're going to be explaining what do those signs mean. And in this episode we're going to be talking about your Mercury sign, okay? Your Mercury sign. So what is your Mercury sign? Okay, first of all, Mercury is the mind, okay? This is the planet of logic, of being rational, and your Mercury sign is going to represent your mind. How do you think, okay? How do you make decisions? How do you make logical decisions? How do you process information, okay? So how do we use our brain? This is our basic brain. This is our mind, okay? And the logical aspect of it, okay? How do we rationalize, okay? And through processing information and understanding information, we communicate, okay? This is the extroverted part of it. So our communication style, how we talk, that's what your Mercury sign is going to represent. Your thought processes and also how you communicate them. How do you speak? How do you use your brain? It's the calculator, okay? So we talked about the sun sign, and the sun sign represents our spirit. So it's our actions and what we want to do. But our Mercury sign is going to represent our mind and how we process the information in the world around us. So with the sun sign, you're not always going to make the right decisions, maybe because it's based off of ego. So that's why you have Mercury, which is the brain, which allows us to really look into the details of things and rationalize them. So again, this is the mind, this is our brain, this is how we make it work, okay? Your Mercury sign can really let us know how logical of a thinker you are. So, if your Mercury is in a water sign, which is a emotional energy, you can be a very emotional thinker, make emotional decisions, process things, information emotionally. Whereas if you're in an air sign or earth sign, you're more logical, you're more practical, okay? Which is great for Mercury because, again, this is logic. You have to think of Mercury like the assistant to the sun. So just like I said, with the sun is the boss, but Mercury is like the secretary. It's the assistant. It's like you have a boss, but you have a secretary or an assistant, and the assistant is the one that looks through all the details, looks through all the phone calls, looks through all the emails, looks at everything in order to make things properly work. So this is what our Mercury sign is. This is how we make our logical decisions. This is how we do 1 + 1 = 2. So it's a very important sign. And it's also going to explain, again, like I said, your communication style, okay? How you speak, how you talk. Are you a fast talker? Are you a slow talker? Do you like to communicate a lot? Do you like to, observe more and listen? Are you extroverted with your thoughts? Do you like to express your thoughts? Are you more conservative with your thoughts, okay? Are your thoughts more on an emotional feeling level? Or is it more on a practical, logical level, depending on what element it's in, what sign it's in? So Mercury is very important for that. And this is going to help you understand, even if you looked into compatibility, the reason why you can talk to someone and have a really good conversation with this person is because your Mercury signs are probably in the same element and they complement each other, versus another person you can't really speak to as well or communicate as well because your Mercury signs are very different. So Mercury is very, very, very important. It really is like the secretary of your personality. Really, it's the secretary of your personality because it's taking in all the information. It's the one using your brain. It's how we're able to speak. It's how we're able to rationalize. It's how we make logical sense of our reality around us, outside of us. It's how we memorize, okay? Mercury deals with memorizing, learning, like we said, talking, retaining information, okay? Making connections and patterns to things, memorizing things. This is learning, this is school, this is, Mercury, the brain. So don't sleep on your Mercury sign because your Mercury sign is really the tell-all tale of our mind and our communication. And a lot of times the way that we think and the way that we not just come up with decisions, but what we think is right and what we think is wrong, a lot of times you know, it could be justified in many different planets, definitely, but definitely Mercury. And the reason why I pinpoint Mercury is because Mercury is our logic. Okay, so this is how we back up what we feel or think. Okay, this is how we say, I feel like this because blah 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 blah. That's the Mercury, it's the logic. So you can really get the sense of a mentality of a type of person. You know, what are their ideals, what do they typically believe in, you know, how do they rationalize, so what is their mindset? Do we have the same mindset? Do we have the same mentality? A lot of that can be seen through the Mercury sign. So please do not sleep on your Mercury sign. Mercury sign is an incredibly active sign. This is how we talk. This is how we communicate. This is how we read, learn, write, all of these things. You know, this is Mercury. This is the Mercury realm. So Mercury is a huge part of our sign, huge part of our personality. And again, it's like our secretary. It's like, you know, if you looked at your personality as a group, the Mercury sign would be the secretary, the assistant, the one doing all the details, all the mundane work, all the information, emails. You know, it's doing all of those detailed work because it is the logical planet. It is the planet of logic, of mind. And yeah, that's it. So that's your Mercury sign. Don't sleep on it, you know. Definitely consider it because it, like I said, it's a big part of a person's personality. You know, we went through the Holy Trinity, which is the rising sun and moon, but the Mercury is such a strong aspect. Every planet is, but Mercury, you do not sleep on that. That is your mentality. Okay, so if your Mercury was in Cancer, you'd be a very emotional thinker and communicator. Okay, if your Mercury was in, let's say, Leo, you'd be a very spirited, egotistical communicator and thinker. You know, things would be, thoughts and communication would be centered around yourself because this is Leo, and Leo likes to perform, you know, so likes to speak in front of people. You know, if your Mercury's in Aries, you're like a straight shooter. You're very direct with how you communicate, and you say exactly what's on your mind, and there's very little thought process because Aries is like about fire, it just wants to do it. So it could be issues there, but again, these are just examples of how to look at your Mercury sign. So don't sleep on your Mercury sign, especially even compatibility. If you want to know if you can communicate with someone, if you're in the same mental mindset as someone, same mental level, look at the Mercury signs. You know, that's going to tell you your mentality, how someone communicates, how someone speaks, how someone thinks, how someone rationalizes and makes logical decisions. All right, and that's very important because if someone's not in your same mindset, it's like, ugh. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That is your Mercury sign. And if you enjoyed the music in the beginning of this video, please listen to my album. I have it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Just type in Sam Dolphin, and also check out my music video, which I also have here on YouTube. I have it all in the description box. And also, if you really like astrology, don't forget to book a reading with me. I do $60 readings, and you can email me and we'll go from there. All right, check you guys out on the next video.